Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 44 Stack. My name is Kelsey Coop Charles, and along with me, I've got Antonio Brother on Long, West Coast.
Look like Coop having some minor difficulties, but first of all, while we kick this off, it's holiday week. Everybody wishing everyone out there happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy family, enjoy football, enjoy food. The three F's for this week. Planning on doing all three very, very heavily because we got some good things coming along this week here, buddy. And also, Thanksgiving starts, really the most wonderful time of the year, even though it's already started, but it just puts things more in perspective at this point. So we're ready to go. What's going on out on the West Coast, Dave?
Ellen, man, we just getting back from that storm, so we're coming back to normal.
All right, all right, all right. Yeah, getting a little weather. Y'all ain't used to that out there.
Especially 5 days, man. I
I
ain't never
know.
been that when I was back at the house. I ain't never been without power for 5 days.
Oh yeah, because you came out the Hugo, wasn't it?
No, I was there for Hugo,
You were
but
there for
Hugo
Hugo,
only
but
hit.
y'all went out like that, was it?
No, because remember it hit that tree. Remember Bethlehem, that
Yeah,
church, that tree. That was the biggest spot on our block. It hit. I know it hit y'all hard
yeah, yeah.
on
And,
34. Yeah,
yeah, it tore up pretty bad, pretty bad. It took us
yeah.
2 weeks before we got stuff. But luckily, we was old school and we could cook on the wood heater. So, y'all chilling don't know nothing about
Yeah, it is.
that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. We're gonna flip this week because college is most important. For people that grew up in South Carolina, the most important game of the year is this Saturday. It is the mighty Clemson Tigers versus the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. And this
Mhm.
year, normally Clemson does a lot of trash talking before this, but it's been relatively quiet because the Gamecocks have been a little bit impressive uh, this year, and I really didn't see it coming. And it is definitely a shock and a surprise to see them where they are. Um, so this might end up being a pretty tough game here.
Mhm.
What y'all think about it?
Well, I've been crowing
Uh,
that the whole season. That
yeah.
after the first, as I was looking at the defense after Georgia was getting
Hmm.
progressive worse. I think I talked about how if Stanford would have not turned the ball over in the red zone, they got there at least 3 to 4 times in that first half. So
Yeah.
I watched South Carolina. Hats off. I hate the damn school, but hats off. They progressed. They got them edge rushers, and they come hard. So, but again, that can be taken advantage of because Klubnik should have the middle open for them little, that run option. Hit it.
Yeah.
Do what he did for to seal the game 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago. That's
Yeah,
what you got to do in that because they coming like that.
right.
So it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a tough one, man. And that game too, because of what happened prior, if Clemson can win that game, even though
Hmm.
they still may not get in the championship game, that puts them in a great position in that large bid because the way South Carolina is showing right now.
Right.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. They really need that game because we don't have a signature win at all. South Carolina, they names. They did what they had to do. I mean, of course, you look at it now, LSU, Texas A&M, they're proving not to be, they're the way it's shaping up now, that South Carolina Bears we might be against Vanderbilt. I mean, the way it's shaping up. But, I mean, if we
and if
just
you
don't
go
get
look at it too,
stagnant on
Kelsey,
offense,
ain't it crazy how LSU played Vandy the best out of all of them? When you
yeah,
looked at the game this past
Yeah.
weekend, like for as bad as they are, right? When you go look
yeah,
at how the other powerhouse schools supposedly look how they played, and then LSU played the best against Vandy. It's crazy, man.
yeah,
My bad for
yeah,
cutting
it
you off,
is.
dog, but yeah, it's been just
You're
crazy.
good, you're good. But it just brings it all in perspective. I mean, um, we had a big letdown against Louisville. And it seemed like we were going on all cylinders. Yeah, we had a couple of wins that, probably a down to the level of competition, but that's not signature Dabo football because Dabo I mean, normally by the second half, he's putting his second and third string in, and they're still pulling away. But Cade in a couple of those games, like to the fourth quarter, it gave me a little bit of pause because I mean, normally Cowboys looking for something, us as Clemson fans really, understand that, but for everybody else, they're probably looking at, he should take him out, but now it's something there. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We just don't get stagnant and play the football we're capable of playing. Then again, Moffa's be hurt. I don't know. I'm thinking he's playing, but he's not 100%. But I mean, they're young cats behind him. I mean, they speed, so we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be a close one. It just depends on what our defense is. I think that's what it all boils down to. Our offensive line, if it holds up, and what our defense can do against Lenore Sellers, because that's a big boy. And he's not afraid to run it, and he will let it sling too. But the thing about it is Carolina is capitalizing on mistakes. Teams have been clawing back into the games, but their blowouts are happening early. So we can just mental errors and big mistakes up front, we should be okay.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen with Carolina this year, they are mistake prone at certain points, at most difficult points of certain games. I believe Clemson defensively, if they play to the standard, they should really take over Carolina, because one of the things you have to understand about Carolina is they are a big play offense. They're not a drive it down your throat. They're a big play offense. And one of the things we can take advantage of is their wide receivers are inexperienced. If we can stop the run and force them into a passing game, I feel like we're in a good spot, because as good as Carolina's defensive line is, it still is not Clemson's defensive line. Clemson's defensive line is terrorist, and the sad part about that is they all sophomores, man. They get on my nerves with this. They all sophomores. So it's like, okay.
When they want to show up.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's a lot on the line for this game. Just because Clemson needs to win. Not saying they're going to get into the championship game of the ACC, but you might not need it. If you beat Carolina handily, that puts you in the playoff, I believe. I don't think, honestly, I see the ACC getting two, whether it's Clemson in Miami or Clemson in SMU. That's the way I see it. I feel like SMU is going to win the conference.
Yeah.
Because Miami, Cristobal does like Ryan Day. You got plenty of talent. You gonna screw it up some kind of way. And we see that.
Shocked if that game ain't close either.
Which game? The SMU Miami game?
SMU Miami. Don't be shocked.
I'm gonna be honest. I look for it to be high scoring.
Don't be shocked if that game ain't close, dog. Yep.
It'll be high scoring. This is a game that has 48, 45, 49, 42 written all over it. Not because the defenses ain't any good. The offenses are just that good. That's the biggest.
And Miami can't afford to do that. I go down on them because they will score. And don't be shocked if this don't even be close. And I'm talking about SMU's way.
Right.
Yeah.
I have been impressed with the way they have come in. Honestly, I've been impressed with everybody that came into the conference, because even Stanford and Cal have showed me they gonna be hard once they get players. Cal next year, I'm just gonna go and put it. Cal gonna compete for the championship next year. I'm gonna say that right now. Stanford got a ways to go, but Cal got enough. They need a few more players, but I think they have enough next year to be in the mix, along with Clemson, along with SMU, and along with Miami, because that's probably the only one that's still going to be legitimate after this.
You think so? Or you think
I don't know, man.
pretty heavy into the portal?
Everybody.
Ward, but
Hernandez,
he got talent though.
The wide receivers.
Yeah, he got talent though. That's the thing. And then you got to remember, in the three schools in Florida right now, he the best one out of all three of them. Now, I will say, Billy. I am so proud of Billy Napier. It is ridiculous right now to see where they were early in the year and to see where they are. Nobody wants to play at all.
No,
No, no, not at all.
they legitimately can beat any SEC school.
Yeah,
on any given Saturday.
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. If Lagway would have been quarterback majority of the year, it would be a definitely different story in the SEC. Because I'm telling you right now, the defense is playing, and this looked like Florida football now. And it's one of the things where Tennessee breathing a sigh of relief. Really Georgia, because if Lagway doesn't get hurt in the Georgia game, they might have been in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, Lagway, hey, he is that pickup.
Right.
Yeah.
We and one of the things, we focus on the South because that's what we see. And honestly, I've seen the growth, which is what you want to see, because if you start out and you are lacking in some way, you want to see growth. Now, I got to give South Carolina credit. Beginning of the year against Old Dominion, they look stank. I'm just gonna be honest. I thought they wasn't gonna win. They were gonna struggle to get 5 wins. They turned it on. Now, part of it, I want to say, is lacking on some of the other teams that they play. Alabama has shown us that ain't Saban's Bama. The LSU game. You know how I feel about Brian Kelly, so you already know I'm already down on that in the first place. There, and just like y'all did say, and it's funny to say this, and it really gonna sound crazy coming out my mouth. Beating Vanderbilt might be their best win. Honest.
Yeah. A complete game.
Yeah.
That's their best win. Forget Kentucky, forget Ole Miss, forget that.
A&M.
I don't even know how you lose to Auburn. Because Auburn was awful all year. And then last Saturday, they decided they want to play football. Because Auburn had been, beyond mediocre, and they decided they want to play football last week. And that's what you saw, the upheaval. But it's what leads us to this. And we talking about this. Has conference expansion caused this kind of problem? Because now you got multiple teams still in play for the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC title. And it's all because of expansion, because there are no longer spots for everybody.
Yeah.
I look at the Big 10, vastly overrated. Vastly overrated. Oregon is undefeated, but you think Oregon the best team in the country?
Well, Dabo said it was the Big 10 SEC invitation.
No, but Dabo can say that, but honestly, the SEC this year, this is a down SEC. If you actually look at it, it's a down SEC. Because Georgia's not great, Tennessee is not great. Bama just proved. You had no business losing. You didn't even score a touchdown against Oklahoma, bro.
Well, they did, but I don't know where that came from.
That was a phantom call, but at the same time, them 7 points wasn't gonna keep them from winning that game. Oklahoma, flat out. But that's the Brent Venables. He knows
defense.
Brent Venables knows how to beat Alabama. He's always known how to beat Alabama. He's perfected that, per se. But what I see is with this expansion, because you got expansion and everybody cannot play the toughest schedule in the world because of how conferences are set up, because everybody conference is top heavy, and the thing that kind of puts you, Ohio State is going to play Oregon, which you already knew that was going to be the comeback for that. And Ohio State, even if they lose to Oregon, they're going to get in because it's Oregon. But really, in all actuality, you're going to let Penn State in this thing, and Penn State has no business being in the play.
Penn State will forever be in the playoffs from now on. Because of how they play. I'm going to tell you how they play. Always finish 3 or 4 in the Big 10.
Right.
They will, the 12-team playoff benefited Penn State probably the most out of anybody because they're always going to come in third and fourth in the Big Ten. And this is the marketing thing. This ain't about being fair. An ACC school outside of Florida State, outside of Clemson and Miami, maybe, this is going to be a heavy SEC, heavy Big Ten playoff.
Yeah.
When they left Florida State out last year, screw what they said. That was precedent setting. You got to read between the lines. They are going to go for like they'll do the football stuff, but then they'll also do entertainment value and rating. Well, that is why this is going to be so heavy, Big Ten, ACC, and the remaining teams that they have to put in, which will be your Big 12 champ, whoever the Boise thing, and a couple of them. But the rest of the at-large and all that, that's just going to be pure because of ratings, and they pumped it up so much.
Well,
it is called the SEC on ABC now. On CBS, it used to be CBS. Big Ten, Notre Dame will perpetually be in the playoffs because it's Notre Dame, and they have a channel to themselves, WIS.
Well, I will say the thing about Notre Dame is eventually I believe they're going to have to get into a conference, only because you can't play those 5 ACC schools that is mandated by the ACC and think you're going to get good matchups against other teams. They lost their big matchup this year when they lost to A&M. Okay. They fumbled around, lost to Northern Illinois. Now, if people were actually paying attention, you'd be like, why are we not denigrating Notre Dame because of that loss? Only because it's Notre Dame. The schools that are going to be in this thing is because they are the largest fan bases. They're the largest university enrollments across the country. That's why the Big Ten is what it is. You got a campus with 60, 70,000 people on it. That's why. But knowing full well, now I will go out on a limb and say right now that somebody from the South is going to win the title, so it don't matter.
Oh, I'm not saying that. Oh, definitely.
That's just the way it is.
This is a Big Ten SEC. It is made for both of those conferences to do, like you said. Some schools in the Big Ten average 45,000 enrollment, man. Like UW up here has 45,000 students.
Right.
It's international. They got all these transfers. Man, it just becomes a brand. And hats off. Because everybody capitulated to everything that was going on. This is what you got.
Yeah, you got it. But I think one of the things, and nobody's really talking about it, but they have this year is the first year of 12 teams. I believe what's going to happen is it's going to open yourself up, either go to 16, 20, or 24. I don't think they're going to go to 32. They do 32 in, I believe, Division 2. In Division 1AA, they do 24. Now, in 1AA, all your conference champions get automatic bids. I don't see that happening in this version just because your conference, you got 11. I think it's down to 9 conferences now since Pac-12 isn't anything, and you really don't want the MAC automatic bid. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to put them at a disadvantage. Now, this year is one of those crazy years where your Mountain West champion is going to be good. I honestly believe that the winner of the American, that's Army and Tulane. If Tulane wins this thing, Tulane deserve to be in because their 2 losses is better than anybody else's 2 losses because they had to lose to big teams to get there. So it's not like how BYU fell off, which kind of knew that was going to end up happening. But never thought Arizona State was where they are right now.
But what is the championship? Big 12, Kent State and Arizona
Right
State.
now, it depends on what happens Saturday because it's between because Colorado still has a shot. That lets you know right there how crazy this is. Colorado State has a shot. Iowa State still has a shot. Arizona State. If Arizona State beats Arizona, they in.
And they should.
They should be. They honestly, they have low key because nobody been paying them attention. Low key, they've been doing pretty well all year. The question is going to be whether Iowa State gets in, Kansas State gets in, or Colorado gets in. That's going to be the three. I think BYU kind of played themselves out of it, even though they still have a chance. I just think they done fell apart at the wrong time of the year. But looking at this, and this week is rivalry week, so anything can possibly happen rivalry week because you're gonna get good because you hate each other. I don't know how it is in other states. I know how it is in this state. And Gamecocks don't like Tigers. Tigers don't like Gamecocks. It's just the bottom line. And see, the thing is, in this state, Carolina is the little brother. Huh? What you say, Kelvin?
That's in Death Valley this year, right?
It's in Death Valley. Yes, it is.
The game in Death Valley this year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I would honestly, I would feel better if this game was actually in Columbia because they ain't lost in Columbia in years. In years, they ain't lost.
See, the thing is, if they start that pass rush, the game, I already think this game will be decided on us the first offensive possession. You're going to know how this game goes. I firmly believe if K going to shit the brick, it's going to be the first possession. You will know how this football game, whether Clemson going to have to buckle down and play the defense of their life, because that first possession is going to tell you a lot about that game.
Well, you're not thinking there's another Taj Boyd effect, no?
I just think like if this game was in South Carolina, and because we kind of, how Clemson kind of flows into the game, and K gets sacked once or twice, it's going to be so damn crunk in there. That I am glad this year, especially with the defense they got, that this game is in Death Valley.
Well, this game hadn't been this hype since the Clowney years. When the losing streak was on. Well, like I say, when the losing streak was on, because during the Muschamp era, it wasn't even a game. It had got to the point of like, man, I don't even want to play y'all because they was naming their score at that point. But then, the loss 2 years ago kind of stings because they shouldn't have lost to Carolina. That was a, I ain't want to say it's a fluke, but they
didn't score an offensive touchdown.
They didn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
But the other thing about this, and for those that don't understand about this rivalry, is that again, Carolina is little brother in this state when it comes to football. So Clemson has way more talent. Gamecock still got a ways to go talent-wise to get on Clemson's level. And even though Carolina plays in the Southeastern Conference, really, they don't match up with Clemson well on a lot of things just because Clemson has better athletes. Clemson is more a SEC school than South Carolina is. That's just the way it's been. It has always been built like that. I think Clemson measures itself more so with Georgia than they do with South Carolina. That's the way I look at it. Now, Georgia ran through us in the second half, first game of the year. I think if we played now, might be a different story. Carson Beck, I would go this far with this one.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Georgia Tech hangs with Georgia all night Saturday night.
Definitely.
Just because we know how Georgia Tech is. Georgia Tech is a thorn in everybody's side. Whether they winning or not, they're a thorn because for some reason they just rise to the occasion every chance they get, and they gonna cause chaos. Now the thing is, if Georgia loses, doesn't matter what they do next week in the SEC championship game because that's gonna always be there. You could possibly lose and win the SEC and don't be one of the top 4 seeds. That's how crazy this is.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody will lose their mind because it's like, why the SEC is not didn't get the bye? Because you lost to Georgia Tech. See, this is something that other schools in the nation, you know, everybody's in their conference. But for 4 schools in the ACC, your last weekend, you got to play your in-state rival who hates your guts. That's just the way it is. Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville better this year. But don't be surprised if Kentucky hangs just for a little while. Okay? Georgia Tech, we already know that's just plain old-fashioned hate, period. Clemson, South Carolina, hate.
Always.
That's all it is. Florida State, I hope Billy put 50 on them. I'm just going to be honest. I hope Billy put 50 on Florida State.
And that might be conservative.
And because they deserve it. They deserve it. Florida State deserves everything that they get, okay?
Yeah.
Because they thought they were better than everybody else. And this is one of them times where, you know what, Billy? If you still got Lagway in there with a minute to go in the 4th quarter and you up by 40, man, keep going, man. Keep going. Keep going. You deserve to beat Florida State like this because they asking for it. And here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to survive? Is Mike Norvell going to survive if he gets embarrassed by Florida?
He'll survive one more season, but that'll be it.
Yeah. And he'll get a Mac Brown pulled on him.
Woo! Yeah. Didn't see that one coming today. Especially after yesterday, Mac said, I think I'll be back next year. The AD said, nah, bro.
Come here for a minute. Yeah.
Let me holler at you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand North Carolina just from this standpoint. Why do they struggle? You got everything. You got facilities, you know, you got talent. The state of North Carolina is not, you know, not dead with talent, okay? And if you know what you're doing, you got 3 prime states to pull from to get players. What is wrong with North Carolina?
Well, I found out one thing. Go ahead, Kel.
No, you got. I was just saying they don't know how to recruit because I mean,
well,
didn't we grab Shipley and a couple other top recruits out of North Carolina?
Yeah, he was out of Charlotte.
Yeah.
They I know I've seen one thing that North Carolina NIL is still illegal, so they don't do NIL. The public schools. Duke can do it, like the private schools, and they're trying to work that out in the new legislative session for the next year. Yeah. Because I was wondering the same thing, like with North Carolina Tar Heels. Like I told y'all, Tar Heels is my favorite school ever. And I listened to Hubert address the boosters. And it was about getting a big man. As you know, this year North Carolina doesn't have that traditional big.
Yeah.
And Hubert said, the boosters need to put pressure on the legislature to get this NIL situation figured out. Because that's where they're losing a lot of recruits right now. They cannot go and offer what you call traditional NIL money. Because like when he went to go get the big man, he was outbid because he just can't. They don't have it yet. Only the private. So that's why you see still Duke and all of them getting, like when it comes to basketball with the 5 stars and the so-called NIL deal. North Carolina isn't going to do that until next year. And I didn't know that until I read deep into the story. And then, you know, how you go behind the scenes. And yeah, that's their problem. Yep, they don't have NIL for the public supported school. So
you mean to tell me?
Well, that's saying something for basketball, though.
Yeah, but this is the thing about the ACC, though. This is what kills me. You got the 4 big schools when it comes to the ACC. So you mean to tell me Duke and Wake Forest can do what they want to do, but North Carolina and North Carolina State can't? That's crazy.
There you go.
That's crazy.
And that's why they said that they got to get this together and put pressure, on the legislature to go in and get this shit figured out because they're getting left behind.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when all your rivals have that already. They can do what they want to do. What are you doing?
Yep.
Oh, my God. I didn't realize that was what the issue was. But here's the thing, still with the issue, even without NIL, if you just look at it, North Carolina should be in a better situation. You are a Jordan Brand school. That by itself should bring you some talent by itself. Okay. You can recruit, you got good athletes in your own state, plus you are bordered by 2 states that continually put out good athletes. Now I know there's some academic stuff in there because it's North Carolina, but at the same time,
Mhm.
you mean to tell me you can't pull nobody out of Virginia, you can't pull nobody out of South Carolina and make your team better? Because you should, that North Carolina should be consistently in somewhere between 9 to 7 wins every year in football, consistently. And every now and again, because I know there are good football programs in the state of North Carolina. So you're not telling me you're not getting, if you're not getting these players, it's something you're doing wrong. Now, the NIL makes a difference, but this has been a problem at North Carolina all the way back to the first time Mac was here.
Yeah. But it could be the same effect like with Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech's a basketball school. You got a lot of talent in Georgia too. I mean,
yeah, but you know the biggest problem in Georgia, and it ain't even Georgia. I'll be honest, because Clemson goes considerably into Atlanta,
all the time.
considerably into Athens all the time, getting players.
The heart of it, yeah. The heart of it, yeah.
I mean, they go into Athens like it ain't nothing. I'm like, Georgia right there, and y'all don't get none of these boys. And see, that's always has been, but it's always been like that when it comes to Clemson. They've always been able to go to Atlanta. They do it in basketball. They do it in football. They go in Atlanta. Georgia Tech hasn't had probably the right program in place for the last 20 years because probably since Calvin and them got out of there, you know, they've been, you know, they went them years with Paul Johnson being option. That wasn't gonna get it. You gotta run regular offense. And see, one of the things Tech was doing back then, because Joe Hamilton came out of Charleston. You know, you got to be able to get. Tech does have a little bit of academic too.
Yeah, and I think they know what they are. They know it for football. They know what they are. They'll go. They ain't gonna change because I don't think they care. As long as they can get like 500, a little bit better, they know they ain't gonna play for no national championship or none of that. Well, it's the academic thing. They know more than that. They're there to make it, you know, make it look good for the academics. Well, ACC, all the schools are good with that.
But here's the thing, though. You can't say that because of the fact you have just as many. If you take Alabama out of the mix, you have just as many national titles as the SEC does in the last 30 years. You know, it's just taking Bama out the mix. You know, that's Nick Saban. If you take that out of there, I mean, everybody on even ground, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's still Georgia Tech. I don't think they really, really care about that. Like, if they stay above water, they good with that. They want to get the basketball season.
Yeah, but
that's it.
But that's I understand that. But here's the problem I say with that. You're not even that in basketball anymore, and that used to be prime time. You know, Georgia Tech playing whoever, whichever one you want to say, that used to be prime time, and it's not now. You know,
yeah.
I don't like when your childhood, you know, when we were younger, we knew everybody that played on everybody team in the ACC. We knew them. You know, Tech had Dal Ripple and John Sally and Mark Price. You know, and then when they gave way to Kenny Anderson and Brian Oliver and Dennis Scott. I mean, you knew who they were, but that was during the Bobby Crimmins era too. So, you know, that made a big difference. You know, that always made a big difference. Because it was always that thing hanging over. Is Bobby going to go back to Carolina to be their coach? Never happened. I think they should have.
Bobby Crimmins?
Yeah.
Man, go to hell.
That was always the thing.
I hate Bobby Crimmins. Man, listen, I think he would be just like Bobby Crimmins, Mark Price, all of them, Kenny and all, yeah, man, they can all go to hell. Yeah, I know. That is blasphemous. Don't say that to me, T. Especially after I stayed up last night and watched the Maui Classic.
But what I'm saying,
the greatest Carolina game. I might have, man, last night, y'all, that comeback and that game was crazy. Dayton and Carolina last night.
Yeah, but this is the problem.
That is blasphemous, T. Bobby No,
Not at
buddy,
Carolina.
women.
At South Carolina, not at Carolina.
Oh,
come on, D. Remember,
Oh.
Bobby Cremon graduated from South Carolina, man.
that hurt me. That one hurt me. My
Come
bad.
on, Dad. Why would
Yeah,
I
see,
even
that's what
go
you
there?
call that. Listen, my bad.
Look,
So,
look,
tough crowd.
there ain't but a few people that could coach at UNC, all right? And we
Yeah.
got one of them right now. Right now, because if Hubert leave, I'm like, who would be the next person? Because it's really, you don't have nobody.
I think I know who it would be. It'll be Mark May.
Well, Sean May.
That's who's being groomed to be.
That's who's being groomed to take Hubert's
Yeah,
spot.
to be the
Yeah,
next.
it'll be Sean. It'll be Sean.
Yeah, I mean Sean. That's what I meant. Ain't his dad Mark T?
Huh?
His
dad is
played
Mark.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, the other one. You're right. Yeah, it's him.
Yeah. Now, I thought one time it was going to be Stackhouse after he got the Vanderbilt job, but since he didn't raise them to a different level, I thought he would have been the next one. But after,
me too.
After May, I can't see unless who was the point guard on the last?
Well, they look like also you saw they bought. You know they bought what's the name man too, Marcus Page. I can see Marcus Page being the groomed after May.
Okay, I can see Marcus Page. That works. You wouldn't.
Yeah, because that's what they like. He's sitting right on the bench right now.
Yeah, that one works because you wouldn't do.
Go ahead, bring Hayden McCants in there.
No.
Man, that's another one to never be mad. He can go to hell too.
No, hey, look at.
I can't stand that bastard. He
ain't allowed to come to the state of North Carolina, bro. He
exactly.
The Tar Heel Nation is definitely against him. You ain't got to worry about him. Look here, because he I mean, bro.
Raymond Felton could do it.
Yeah, Raymond could. I believe Raymond.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Raymond, I would say Raymond more so than Ty Law. Ty Law.
Yeah, Raymond, he's got away with the people, though. I mean,
Raymond, I believe Raymond.
Yeah.
But McCann, nah, bro. He can't.
No.
He can't even hit the border, bro. No.
Oh, y'all don't like hate Daniel, man? Come on, man.
Oh no, bro.
McCann.
No, because see, he the blasphemy he came out of his mouth with one time was saying he said he was the best player on that championship team and had all of us looking like, huh? Who? You?
Right, he out there pulling them dirty Sanchez's, making flicks on Vivid Video. And man, Rashad can go to hell too.
Rashad get out of everybody that was on that championship team, he ain't never got to worry about his jersey going up in the rafters.
Nah.
Never. Shamon Williams will get in the rafters before he will.
That's my man right there.
King Rice will get in the rafters before he will. King Rice.
That was another dude I had a love-hate relationship with King Rice.
King Rice could not play point guard to save his life, man.
5-star queen.
I mean, superstar.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, them 3 years he was in school, it's like we couldn't do nothing.
As
that
soon
was
as
the
he got replaced with Derek Phelps, we won the national championship.
Yeah. That was the ride Johnny Dawkins, man. He couldn't guard nobody.
Whatever happened to Forte?
Joe Forte?
I think he was one and done.
He was more than what he really was.
Thought he was more, yeah. Because Joe shouldn't have never left school, bro.
No.
Never left school.
No. He got happy because him and Haywood went to the Final Four and got blasted. But then he thought he was going to be some NBA.
I don't know who got in his ear, but he shouldn't have went nowhere. I'm still trying to figure out how they got to the Final Four that year, bro.
That was a hard one.
That was a bad squad. That was really a bad squad. They should not have made it to the Final Four. That was probably one of the worst Carolina squads of all time, and they made it to the Final Four.
To get in a tournament and then to get to a Final Four, that was an overachieving bunch.
Yeah, because nothing about that team said Carolina. Nothing. There was nothing on that team that said Carolina.
You said rebuild.
Yeah,
rebuild.
That's what they should have been. Because Dean had left.
Down low. We'll be back next year.
Dean had left. Coach was the coach.
Guthridge went to
2 Final Fours.
Guthridge went to 4 Final Four, right? He went to 4 Final Fours.
He went with Vince and them. He went with Hayward and Joe Forte. Who else he went with?
He went with Stackhouse in there.
He did. He sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Guthrie,
That first year after he left.
As a matter of fact, I went and looked at it the other night. Guthrie had like an 800 winning percentage, man. That dude he just ain't, he was old. And that, I mean, Guthrie, he was around when Dean said, and Roy didn't come back, and he just said, all right, I do it.
Well, yeah, because that was supposed to be when Dean decided to give it up, Roy was supposed to come the first time. And Roy decided he wanted to stay at Kansas. And if Roy would have came on and still had a year of Antoine, a year of Antoine and Vince, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, look what he did. Remember when Matt got fired, they didn't make the tournament. The same team, 2 years later,
won the championship.
Yeah.
Matt shouldn't have never been considered.
Yeah, well, Mike was the, Mike was the
that's his boy though. That was his boy on that.
And that's why he got hired.
But you know who should have probably got that job? It should have either been Buzz Peterson or Lebo.
Lebo was good. Yeah.
Because you knew Phil Ford wasn't gonna get it just because Phil can't stay off the bottom. If Phil could have stayed off the bottom, Phil would have been the coach. But he couldn't stay
on the bottom hard. Yeah, Phil has been known to not skip around or make any round on him.
Nope. So that's why they took that deep fall, and now getting them back to where they was. I feel for, but if they're not doing NIL, they can't compete, man. Because shoot, that's why Duke got all first rounders starting for them. So you can't do nothing with that. All right, looking at the schedule for this weekend in college.
They can, but it's not legally.
Well, you already know how that go in the first place. So but Hubert trying to do right.
Yeah, you got the mailbox, but I digress.
But here's the thing. I mean, you are a Jordan brand school, okay? Money should not be a problem, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Should not. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thursday night, we got a good game, only because both of them are 9-2. But if you haven't watched Tulane this year, this is a good opportunity to watch Tulane, especially if you don't want to watch the Dolphins and the Packers Thursday night for the NFL. Memphis is playing Tulane. It's going to be a lot of offense. If you hadn't watched Tulane, like I say, that's going to be a good one to look at. Then on Friday, we got some interesting games to look at. You got Oregon State, who technically won the Pac-12 last week by beating Washington State, which is crazy. But they're going against Boise State, and has Boise State.
Well, they got wait. Hey. Oregon State won the Pac-12 because they beat Boise State.
It took that long to hit you, huh? But look here. Oregon State had been trash all year.
Oh, shit.
All year. But they beat Washington State last week, man. So they win the conference. It is what it is.
The winner of the game is over. You done won the damn conference, man. That's crazy.
It's the craziest thing in the world. But when I was sitting there Saturday night and I'm looking at, I'm like, what is Washington State doing? Because
you made my night with that one, man.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Nobody was talking about this, but had Washington State won out, Washington State was going to be 11-1. Now the schedule wasn't even on that, but at the same time, they was going to be 11-1. But you lose to Oregon State. That's all I'm going to say. All right. But they play Boise State. If they pull off the upset and beat Boise State is completely out at that point. Okay. Then also you got Oklahoma State versus Colorado. Deion needs to win this game, not only to stay in the hunt for the Big 12 title, but also this will take the stench out of last week's loss to Kansas. Now, I did say Kansas was going to give them problems. They didn't go in with the right mindset. When you don't do that, that's what happens. Then Friday night,
beat the mullet.
Yeah, beat. I'm 40 and I'm a man. He 50 and a man now, but he was 40 and a man. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, just because this is kind of like South Carolina and Clemson. They truly hate each other. And one thing over the years about this game, even though nobody really pays attention, it always got some craziness happening in this game. Always. So be prepared.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some stuff you're gonna be like, I know they didn't just do that. That's how that game has been for the last 10 years. All right. And then Friday night, which is good. I'm glad they moved this game to Friday night. Georgia Tech, Georgia. I think this is going to be a great game. Georgia Tech, if you remember last year, Georgia Tech was beating Georgia up until about halfway of the fourth quarter. So they cannot take them lightly at any point because Tech is much better now.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, we know the spread. Hey, stat man. What's the spread?
Stat man, what the spread?
That sounds
let's see.
a good opportunity.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like. I know the one it's not a spread on it, but it just got interesting. The poll just came out. Clemson is number 12, and they got to play South Carolina, which is number 16. That's gonna be interesting.
So they win they in.
12.
Yeah.
Ooh. So that means there's 3 ACC schools in the top 12 there.
Yep.
So that means this now means the loser of the ACC championship game
is out.
They're not gonna put 3 of us in.
No.
We'll see. Yep. Go ahead.
All right. The spread for the Georgia Tech game is Georgia
19 and a half.
Oh man, they might want to take that.
Take Tech.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna beat them by 20 points.
Yep.
I don't see it.
No.
You know, that's a sucker bet there, honestly. Yeah, and the over is 53 and a half. That's a sucker bet. Because so what you saying is this game gonna be like 42-10.
That's that's the under. Yeah. Hey, we need to, yes. Okay, let me write. Yeah, I need to do
that's what they say. This game gonna be like 42-10. And I don't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
54 and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
If you really
Yeah, if you look at it, yeah. This is not gonna be this game, this is not that type of game. That's just like if you look at the Ole Miss Mississippi State spread, it's Ole Miss by 26. I know Mississippi State stink this year, but
the thing with Mississippi State, they'll do them dumbass turnovers, and that's where it's gonna and he want to run up the score after he lost last week.
Yeah, but Lane ain't going nowhere. And then honestly, all these spreads kind of off because the Colorado is 16 and a half. I don't know about that one. All these spreads is off by a lot. Now, the one I do agree with is the next game that we have on schedule, which is 12 o'clock on Saturday, is Michigan, Ohio State, and the spread for that is 21. I do believe Ohio State will get 21 against Michigan. This ain't the same Michigan. Then we got now Tennessee. You set up.
Tennessee and Vanderbilt is Atlanta.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
All right, man.
Yeah, Carolina and Clemson is 2.5.
Now that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. Now we got Tennessee and Vandy. Oh, here's another thing we didn't bring up. Here's the other part. Why are we playing at 12 o'clock?
Oh, yeah.
And that's really the only prime time matchup.
I mean, honestly, why are we playing at 12 o'clock? Why is Florida State at 7? Game has no bearing on nothing. They both, Florida State ain't going nowhere. They're going to the Tidy Bowl. So, why are they playing at 7 o'clock? That makes 0 sense. You know, and I can understand not playing at 3:30. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, looking at your bandwidth, you all it's showing that you got 4 good ones.
Okay.
Okay.
If you see mine on the side, it should show like.
I don't know. It's windy here, so ain't no telling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. We got Tennessee Vandy, South Carolina Clemson, Notre Dame SC, Auburn
That might be the
Alabama.
game to watch.
Which one?
Notre Dame USC. You think USC might give them a run, or you think that's over and done?
Well,
Where
they had the Coliseum.
Yeah, man, I watched the worst football game I ever watched this weekend too. UCLA and USC.
You watched that too?
You what, man?
Bruh, I stayed up and watched all of it, and I'm like, why am I
Oh.
watching this game?
That was one of the worst football games I may have ever watched.
Bo, it was ugly, and
Ugly.
it wasn't even football-esque. It was like I've seen better Pee Wee League teams
Yes.
each other than I've seen. That I mean, but if that's the best that they got in California, I see why Cal and Stanford is in the ACC now, because that was pitiful.
That was terrible.
All right, so we finish up Iron Bowl, Auburn and Alabama. Bama, it don't matter now. You lost last week, so Miami, don't go to Syracuse in the Carrier Dome and play around, because you can get beat, and if you get beat,
What we got on that? What spread we got
11.
on that?
11.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
So if Miami blows this, what does that do for Cam Ward's chances of Heisman?
Oh, they done. But I didn't think he was in the mix. I think Genty is gonna win the Heisman.
Yeah.
Michael
Between him and
Myers.
Travis.
Oh no, Travis don't have the plays to win the Heisman. He got some catches, he got some interceptions, but when Woodson won it that year, he was returning punts, playing offense, and was the best shutdown corner.
He was must see TV.
Yeah,
he was must see TV. I mean,
Travis can be taken advantage of. We've already seen that. Shador is trying to throw the ball to him, and that probably what got him in trouble last week against Kansas, because he knew that's who was going to get the ball, because they were trying. They were worried about the Heisman candidacy than winning the game. Let it come to you, brother. Let it come to you.
True.
So you got Cal play SMU. SMU's already in the ACC championship game, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's 12 and a half.
You got NC State, North Carolina. This is Mac's last game, and if it be like how it's been the last few years, NC State gonna beat the snot out of North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's just the way it been. Again, Florida State is 7:00 that night. This game has no business being in prime time, but your two big games for the end of the night, UW versus Oregon in Outson. Shouldn't be nothing. I watched UW
horrible
2 weeks ago against UCLA. They struggling. They look bad. Washington, when Washington's bad, it's bad. It's bad. And right now, it's bad.
We were here for the 0-12 season with what's his name? You see him, Stanford coach.
Shaw.
Tyrone Willingham.
Willingham.
Yeah. 0-13, 0-12, 0-13. And you're right. When they get bad.
They get bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the big game of the night, and probably the highest ticket because they hadn't played in 10 years, Texas versus Texas A&M. There's no telling what's going to happen in this game just because you got 109 crazy people in one stadium. But Texas should win this game because I was a little higher on A&M after they beat LSU, but not now.
Where's it going to be at?
A&M.
A&M.
I got an upset alert on that one to you.
Yeah.
Well, they got Texas 4.5. They said Texas wins and covers the spread.
I got
it depends on now. Yours is hurt. and they not talking about it because for some reason they feel like if you play Arch, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
destroy what you got going on. I'm like, okay, that's what you got him there for, ain't it?
A
Well, they
lot
say
will
he's
be told in
dealing with
that
an
Texas
ankle injury.
A&M Texas game in the first couple
Yeah.
of possessions. If Texas don't hold on, it could get ugly.
It could.
Yeah. Well, you was
Yeah, I
going to
mean,
be
I
limited
just find
because of
that as
that
a
injury.
I don't know if Texas is, I'm still questioning how Texas is built. Are they built for stuff like that? Because that going into College Station or a rivalry game, they ain't played in 11
They ain't
years.
played in 11 years, bro.
Man, you
Yeah.
know, hey, like, Seattle stole the 12 man, really. I mean, that should belong to A&M.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. That's, you know what, man? That's actually nice in prime time or whatever. How late is that game? What
Well,
late? Because
it's
I'm
7:30.
always
7:30.
7:30.
7:30.
that is the game to watch.
Well, they put it there. Now, I get SEC credit on this one. Now, that game is the right place.
Man, that's a game to watch right there.
Because, but see, my only issue I had was there was another game of equal importance, which is Carolina and Clemson to the whole scheme of things. That game should have been at that same time. Playing this game at 12 o'clock, that's too early. And for those of us that have been to a Clemson game at 12 o'clock, that ain't the greatest thing in the world because you got to get up real early to get to Clemson.
Well, for me, it makes
Well,
my nap get started at like noon. So
Mhm.
that it works. It actually aligns with my nap time on Saturday. So
Well,
for me, it's perfect because it'll be over by after I eat me some lunch. I got the itis. And yeah, so that works perfectly for me. My bad, y'all, but this one I like the 9 o'clock games for me.
Well, look at it. The 3-hour time change makes sense for you. So,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
It works for you. All right. Going over to the NFL.
Hold up. Let's check one more thing, though.
What?
That Notre Dame USC game is a 7-point spread. That might be a good one.
No.
3:30.
Notre Dame
You
should win
just
this
saw
game.
that game, Kel. I don't know if you, because I know they're gonna repeat it on the Big Ten, 50 million times network. If you got, man,
Mhm.
I am telling you, I may have watched some of the worst football I've seen in the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. That was horrible.
They
had off week.
SC is not good, bro. He got talent everywhere, but they are not good.
Mhm.
Third quarter of the game was 10-9.
Yeah.
It ended up what 16 it ended up like a baseball.
It ended up, I think it ended up
That was
16-12 or something like that. And only because and UCLA probably could have been in it if they had a field goal kicker that was worse of.
And
if they had a quarterback that could hit the broadside of a mule, they might have could have won something, boy. I couldn't honestly, Kelsey. Now I had to get up and go to Charlotte the next morning, but honestly, I was sitting there. I'm like, why am I watching this game?
I am with him, Kelsey. I watched it too, and I wasn't late, and I still was wondering, like, well, how come I ain't turned on no cartoons or something yet? Because
it was terrible.
That was a waste of my time.
You couldn't believe what you were seeing, so you had to watch.
No, I couldn't. Not with two programs like that. You know what I'm saying? Like UCLA and USC. You need to believe it.
The only thing that was good about that was the uniforms was pretty as I don't know what. That's the only thing I can say good about that game. Because they were pretty. But as far as football, it was like, man,
like, Kel, you make me feel bad for spending this much time talking about
USC and UCLA. That's how bad it is, bro.
Because, man, that game was terrible, dog.
The standard is the standard. That was not the standard.
Bro.
So we got to address it.
Look here. This was not Pete Carroll versus Rick Neuhauser. I'll tell you that right there.
Charles White ain't walking through the door.
No, bro. Yeah, Marcus Allen is not Troy Aikman.
Yeah, man. This was
no.
It was ugly, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I say, I flipped over there after Alabama had lost, and I'm like,
that was the last thing on. It's a football.
Oh, I'm looking at football, and I'm really like, why am I watching? I mean, literally, it was 1:30, and I'm like, why am I watching this game, bro? Because this is awful.
Yeah, you just couldn't turn away. It was must see. to believe. That's what it was. It wasn't must see TV.
Bruh, if they made a good play, you was actually like, oh, how that happen?
Yeah. The best thing about that was the weather. The best thing about that game was the weather.
Oh.
Hold up now. No, the best thing about the weather was Jameis, man.
Don't get me started on
that game was the weather conditions.
Don't get me started on that.
You gotta love Jameis, man.
No, you
That's a
don't.
perfect segue into the NFL.
No, you don't, man.
God bless us with some snow.
It's a blessing to play this game that we call football.
Exactly.
I'm looking at it like, I can't believe he just said this, bro.
Motivational speaker, man. Jameis
is
setting himself up to be a great, and he set himself up to be a great motivational speaker, man.
That's it.
Hey, next he gonna be like Peter Popoff and be selling them damn waters. There's 3 drops on it to cure everything you got. Jameis is the new Peter Popoff. There you go, right there.
I used to see a crab leg.
Hey,
I used to stand up in the student union.
Exactly.
But I tell you, God has blessed me with a second chance.
He gonna bottle some of that water up in Cleveland.
Oh man!
And he just gonna start dousing it on people.
$2
down.
That's it.
He said,
I'm done. Get the water. You get the water.
Done. I can't do the
water. Exactly. God has blessed us. God has blessed East St. Laurent 1999.
As a matter of fact, I took some of this water.
The East St. Laurent 99. Hey, that's gonna be him, man.
That's it. I took some snow from week 12 and I turned it into
water. Man, I already been to week 17. Let me tell you what I saw.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna throw 4 interceptions. But that's okay. We still gonna win this game.
But the funny part about this game, he played like crap, man.
Yeah. Hey,
he played like.
But he was blessed to play. He was blessed to be able to play in the snow, man.
That's why I'm so frustrated as a Steeler fan. Like, how we lose to Jameis, man?
You can't even be mad at that, though, man.
I can.
Yeah. It's Jameis.
They hear Jameis. They hear the pregame. The pregame speech was bad enough. The post-game speech. I'm like, what? How did we lose? How you lose to this, bro?
It's the Jameis effect, man.
I listened to him for 5 years straight. And re-rapping the same shit he says because it's only a re-rap. And it is some of the most idiotic stuff you have ever heard.
Not a knick-knack paddywhack. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's original. Knick-knack paddywhack. Come on, man.
Say knick-knack paddywhack. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Knick-knack paddywhack. Hey. I'm trying to pull up his stats, man. I'm just going to be real about it.
Man,
Jameis is 8. He went 18 for 27 for 290 yards and 1 pick. Should have been by 4.
Yeah.
Honestly, should have been by 4. But because it was snowing, it is what it is. Nick Chubb had 20 carries for 59 yards.
Yeah.
59.
Yeah, that's it.
So again, how do we lose this football game, man?
Pickens still don't know what he want to do, but he want to play football or
I'm glad you bring that up. Because the other thing that came out of this is, of course, Antonio Brown inserted himself into action. He telling the Steelers he'll come back and play for free just to get back on the team. And we like, boy, we already got one head case out there. I don't know what we doing. George Pickens is a tremendous talent, but George Pickens is about cuckoo at Jameis, man. Why is you fighting at the end of the game?
Because he don't know what he want to do, man. You don't know if he want to be.
We had a dude like that. His name was Akeem Talib. And
he did the
same
chains.
talented and you out there fighting, you and your mama went going shoot riding on somebody, and you got your second contract paid, and that's what he remind me of, man. Sometimes that stuff just, and same thing with the dude who said he'd come back for free, Antonio Brown. Don't know what it is. They just all three of them, they all go together. And we had another one, Mr. I rake anybody I find, Kellen Winslow Jr. Hide your folks.
That was a wild boy.
Well, he a soldier. He a soldier.
That was a wild boy.
I'm a soldier. It wore out him.
We had another one who was loony. Yeah. Father's a legend. The son was an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got past the Jameis portion of this here. Cowboys. Y'all decide y'all want to play Sunday, right?
We can go ahead and skip on past that. That was an
anomaly. Bro.
So, we might be on a 2-game win streak though.
But you know what though? That is the most Cowboy thing to do. You trying to tank, but you're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
That is the most Cowboy thing you ever want to see, bro. And Jared talking about, well, you know, we doing great. Mike's doing a great job. Have the Commanders fell apart though.
I said that last week. That's 3 in a row.
Commanders on a little 2-game losing streak right now.
3-game losing streak.
And I just think, like we've talked before, and I've said, they to me are year 3. I think what you got was unexpected this year.
Right.
And now it's showing that it was unexpected. But I still say year 2 or 3. They remind me of Atlanta. You remember how Atlanta was like this, and then they hit it like now or whenever they gonna hit it. The Commanders like they shocked you this year, and now they're regressing to the mean. But wait 2 or 3 more years, and they draft and do everything they've been doing right. They still gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Well, if it's handled correctly, because you remember when Jason Cameron was playing, I think they started off 8-0, and then they went 8-8. So
if it's like I said, if the new regime and this new gleam they got, if they do it right, they should be set up for the next 2 or 3 years to be making some noise.
Well,
Quinn will have him ready, I think, but he's not gonna probably be able to get him over the hump, but he have him ready.
Yeah. I think the defense is letting them down right now. And then one of the things that they were talking about, people tend to figure out Cliff Kingsbury about middle of the year, and then they start shutting down this stuff pretty good. They made a tremendous comeback in that game. Cowboys helped them as much as they could.
Of course, that's what we do.
That's what y'all do, man. But this game should have been over with, honestly. But y'all let them back in.
When did the Cowboys ever shut a game down though? In the last, even when we were going 12, except for the Giants, we've never done that really, because our defense is always suspect, always has been.
Well, yeah, and now Michael Parsons unleashed himself on Sunday, so I hope he got something left for Thursday, and we'll get to that in just a minute. I had the opportunity
going to the sassy. Michael Parsons about to hit sassy ball category for me here soon as well.
Oh God,
I'm tired of hearing this. Yeah, he about to be sassy just because he talked like a damn sassy.
Well, he an intellectual. He an intellectual.
Yeah, he about to be hitting. He's striding. Back as you said, Frankie Beck, he back in stride again because he about to stride right over to the sassy.
Boy, I tell you.
All right. So Sunday, I had the opportunity to go to the Panthers game to see them against the Chiefs, and I got 2 takeaways from that game. Seeing them live, and number one, Bryce has improved tremendously.
He didn't need a time.
First of the year, he has improved tremendously. The team as a whole has improved. I saw them early in the year against Cincinnati. They should have beat Cincinnati. They just didn't. But looking at them, how they played the Chiefs on Sunday, they have some young pieces that I think as they mature, they're going to get better. They still need help. He doesn't have enough help. That's one problem.
Okay, so you finally see something, because a couple of weeks ago you said nothing. Nothing.
Well, you got rid of some bad seeds. You sent them away, or you done brought in some people. They got a little dude they brought up off of the practice squad. He played a tremendous game. You had Jonathan Brooks started. I mean, he came back as running back. They're playing better, and it's clearly that they're playing better. I mean, they put up, 27 points, legitimate points on the Chiefs. It wasn't
got a good defense this year. Yeah.
It wasn't no fluke. They put up legitimate points. Now, one of the things, and maybe from the Chiefs standpoint, maybe they were sandbagging a little bit because Nuke didn't play as much as I thought he was going to play. But when he played, he called J.C. Horn all kind of problems because J.C. Horn got, I think, 2 pass interference calls and 2 holding calls. And that was all with him on Nuke. Nuke was giving him fits, man. And then the other part I see is that when the Chiefs need to run the football, they're able to run the football. That's one of the big differences. But I knew when they tied the score up at 27, I said, you left Mahomes too many minutes left. It was 1:46. And I knew, he gonna touch down here and get the field goal. And that's what he did. He broke their back like that. But one thing I can say about the Chiefs going forward, they're not gonna repeat.
You don't think so?
They're not gonna repeat. They are hanging on, bro. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what the issue is, but
they might be tired. They played a lot of games.
You played a lot of games. I understand that, but you got enough talent that you should be able to overcome that at some point. Travis Kelce is not Travis Kelce. I'm just gonna say that right now. You put it on whatever you want to put it on. He is not his normal self. Okay. If they did not have
TT,
well, that's on her. Something she ain't doing. Okay, because
TT. That's Travis Taylor.
Yeah, he not playing the same. And then
he's a Swiftie now. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. And then if they didn't have Nuke Hopkins, they would be in trouble because one of the things I've noticed about Xavier Worthy, he can't run nothing short. Everything got to go deep.
He can't take that hit going across the middle. Even if you do
he is very slight. He is slight. I'm not gonna lie. He is slight. He is not a big receiver at all. If the Chiefs have to play a physical game, I think they're gonna be in trouble. If they got to play a Buffalo or a Lamar, even Pittsburgh at this point, because nothing I saw offensively made me like, oh, I'm scared of. You know how we used to be scared of them? Right now, the greatness of Mahomes is what is winning these games. They are struggling, bro.
I got a question though. Are you still not scared of? Do you truly, really not? Come on, Mike. I know the games are close.
I'm scared of Mahomes.
Not scared because the other thing is the offense looks a whole lot better to me in the last 2 weeks because of the output of points. They look a lot, and Hopkins actually is the solidifying factor for me for them over the top because now you have a possession receiver. You can go take the bad weather, and the weather don't matter. And if you mess around, because I got a new saying too, y'all. We got a spread. It's called #FAFO. It's just called fuck around to find out. So if you FAFO this, right, you might see Kansas City, you got Bernard Hopkins will be open all day. Worthy now, say you got to go to Miami or play somewhere else. You got threats on both sides. You're right. See, Worthy can't do nothing but go long. But Bernard Hopkins has all of that filled in. And Kelce might not be doing nothing. I don't know none of the tight ends' new names, but they catching a lot of balls.
Right. Can you truly count him out when it matters, though?
That's what I'm saying.
You can't count him out.
He's the favorite.
But here's the thing, though. What I see, they gotta stay close enough to you where he can put the magic out there. Because if they get down like they did in Buffalo, the other week, they in trouble. Because Juju ain't it. Okay.
But that was before they had Bernard Hopkins, though, right?
No, he played.
But B-Hop was fully integrated into that offense.
He would play.
The next time they play Buffalo. And I understand, man. People still, I will go by what my son and everybody else say. People play Kansas City instead of playing the football game. That's how I know people are still scared of them.
Well,
Because Carolina has a chance to put them out. The
if I,
Buccaneers fans, all of these teams have a chance, but you know what happened? You start playing them instead of the football game. And when the playoffs start, it's going to be even more than that because you're going to look over and, like you said, if they are even close, you know what's about to happen. And people feel it. I mean, you just see it.
What I'm saying is the issue I saw Sunday was from an offensive standpoint, they only doing what they need to do. They not doing anything out of the realm because I thought the Panthers did something really, really dumb. They made J.C. Horn follow Newt wherever he went. Newt was taking the boy lunch money, bro. I mean, it was just simple. Taking the boy lunch money. He got penalties. He got catches made on him, everything. When they go 2 tight ends and Gray is one of their tight ends along with Kelsey, I mean, Kelsey just don't have they have the simplest offense for it to work because it's go 5 steps, turn around, get the ball. Go 3 steps, turn around.
Yeah, like Hogan, all New England, whoever you want to paste in, Wes Welker, you have your offense has now morphed into a system that when you lost Tyreek Hill, you won a Super Bowl. They don't, that system, like I told you, they messed around and fivefold Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. And that dude right there was what he was waiting for to me, the perfect offensive system in football. Until it's proven not be, he has because I don't care who you give him, and now you gave him God body. You gave him Rakim. And Rakim is back there for him. And you know he got at least 3 to 4 more Super Bowls in him. And this year, if you fall and keep them around it all in the fourth quarter, your mind gonna be like the Ghetto Boys and start playing tricks on you, and you're beating the concrete instead of beating the football game. And the concrete is Kansas City instead of beating the whole thing, which is the football game.
Yeah, I think the bottom line, Andy Reid's playing chess and everybody else playing checkers.
And he is destroying. He is literally his offense is Bill Walsh, because he's a Bill Walsh, kind of. He has taken that, and he is that offense literally. He is doing what New England and them did. Man, the dude was a lacrosse player.
Well, but I'm
at Penn State, and they won a Super Bowl with him.
The difference this year though is the defense can be had, not like they were last year. The defense this year can be had because now Chris Jones played the whole game Sunday. He wasn't in on anything Sunday. That's a concern, especially with a mediocre offensive line. Okay, that's a concern.
We play in Kansas City right now, still.
Yeah, because of the division.
All game. So you're gonna have to come to Kansas City, man. Now that you got me thinking about it, it's even more unrealistic.
Well,
you gotta come to Kansas City and beat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in a football. Yeah, T.
I'm just saying.
You asking for Jericho and them come across them walls because that's the only thing that's gonna happen for the Kansas City Chiefs not to win. You are not. Now you done mess around and don't even let the man have to go on the road. Yeah, T. You talked me into actually going to Vegas, maybe.
This is the thing.
Preemptively.
They went on the road last year and won it because they did.
Now they don't even have to do that.
But this year, here's the thing. I think honestly, they're gonna play much closer games because of the fact that offense is not as dynamic as it has been. Because I don't think he threw a ball over 15 yards Sunday. I don't think he did at all.
Asheville native Roy Williams said, "You only got to score 1 more point to beat the other team."
Yeah, and
it can be all close, and you mess around and it's gonna be 2019.
Well,
they holding up that trophy again, and like I said, man, you're now because if they don't have to go on the road.
But this gonna bring me to this though.
With all the other little homes,
If
little
they
strange looking kids.
if they get through the
my
AFC,
goodness, man.
if they get through the AFC, that's one thing. Detroit killed him. Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's man. Here we go again.
Detroit. I'll give you a nudge right now. If they continue to play the way that they're playing, the Eagles will kill them.
You think Andy Reid gonna let that happen?
Man,
Bruh, it's not about Andy letting it happen, man. You gotta look at. I'm looking at it from the standpoint. They're not playing. They're not playing even to the level of where they were last year. They winning because of the schedule, but they're not playing to the same level they were. Because just looking at them, they're getting by because they just know how to make plays when it's necessary. But when you get into a gauntlet of having to play the Buffaloes, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Broncos should have beat them. Just gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. It's gonna it's not gonna be an easy way as it has been because they don't have. It's something missing, and you have to watch them every week to understand something is not quite right with them.
I think
because they've been getting by, and even Mahomes said it on Sunday. He wants blowout, but something is preventing them. Because let me tell you, they did not. I think they got the Bryce maybe once or twice. Mahomes got sacked 5 times Sunday, and the Panthers did a phenomenal job on when to bring the blitz and when not to. But you know what they did? Clowney made a sack Sunday. I couldn't even believe it. I about fell out the chair, bro. Clowney made a sack. I was like, oh my God, he actually can play when he want to. I didn't know they had DJ Wanham. I thought he was still in Minnesota. DJ Wanham got a sack Sunday. And then they brought J.C. Horn, and I know Mahomes didn't see it because I didn't see it. They brought him late because he was out wide. And when they snapped the ball, I'm like, where he come from? Because he did not give any indication he was coming. And then that was a smart move because you put your number one corner on the blitz. Hey, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what good teams do. That's why I feel like, okay, Panthers are slowly coming around. So I might not want to run everybody out of Carolina right now. Now we can run everybody out of New York because the Jets and Giants stink. Let's just be real about that. The Jets and Giants stink. Period.
Yeah, last great quarterback was commentating the game, Mark Sanchez, the other day. The Jets quarterback.
For real. They need him back. They need him.
Yeah.
And they need Ryan back as they coach because they in trouble.
Had Boomer Esiason as the backup.
Oh God. That ain't gonna work. All right. So this week's games, we got 3 games on Thanksgiving. Love it. But I hate. Now, Bears did play better on Sunday, but they played the Lions Thursday. I don't know which way this game could go. I think the Lions is going to blow them out, but the Bears did play a complete game for once. They still lost, but they did play a complete game.
But that's a division game too, so anything go.
But that's your best game you got on Thursday because the game at 4:30 is your nap time if you want to sleep after the turkey didn't hit rock bottom or whatever. Because you got the Giants versus the Cowboys. I don't know why we got to be subjected to this.
Hey, my boys might go on a 2-game winning streak.
Because I'm going to tell you this.
Y'all can win that game with a safety.
The way the Giants looked last week against the Bucs, they pretty much gave up in that game.
Well, like I just said, the Cowboys can win that game with a safety. 2-0. 2-out base hit. Because that's going to be a pitiful game at 4:30. So that's why I say sleep it off, brother. Sleep it off. And then
sleeping will be a good game, though. We'll talk about later, Carolina and Dallas. That's going to be a good game. But anyway, go ahead and finish this.
That we got the next, bro. The Raiders, and then Thursday night, we got Dolphins and Packers. Check the weather. It's supposed to be snow. You already know Tua can't do cold weather, so
No.
it's gonna be embarrassing. The Packers are getting ready to hit their stride, which is what I kind of figured they were gonna do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sunday, well, no, we got a game on Friday this week. First Black Friday game.
Sure
We
do.
got the Raiders versus the Chiefs.
The Raiders, I don't even know what the hell they're trying to do. So, and Minshew got a broken collarbone. He out.
Yeah, so that means
I don't
you
even
gotta
know
play
who is the other dude they put in for him that time?
Aiden O'Connell.
Man, hated it.
But Aiden O'Connell beat Patrick Mahomes last year. Did you just say hated it?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes,
we
he
got to
did.
move past that one, dog. Yeah.
Are you Antoine or Blaine?
Any one of them that say this game is crap.
Oh my God.
Don't need to be reviewed.
All right, Sunday, 1 o'clock. We got Colts at Patriots, Steelers at Bengals, Chargers at Falcons. Falcons better get it together because you have allowed everybody to get back in the hunt.
Yep.
Hey, Tampa gonna win that, man.
Huh?
Tampa gonna win that division. Tampa gonna win that division.
That would be a complete.
I think the way
collapse.
more and more players now, and the health is coming back because Evans came back and Vega came back last week. So if the health thing hold out, fingers crossed, might be able to make some noise. And actually, I'm actually thinking about the because it's going to be the third wild card spot. It's going to be one of them NFC West teams. They're going to have to try to battle out to get it.
But you know what though?
Because if you can still have a good record in Atlanta,
I think the West and the South, both of them going to be 9-8. I feel like 9-8 is the ceiling point for both of those teams.
Because let's say Atlanta continues to win, even if the Bucks win out, they'll have like whatever 9-8. 10. The part is Atlanta will still win because they got the two.
They got the two games on them.
And the Bucks would have to keep pace to me with that second place team in the NFC West to have any hope at a wild card. That's my thing. And it have to be keeping pace with the Seattle, Arizona, watching, because really they both got the same kind of record. And trying to battle out there or see if Minnesota, because it's still three of them.
I think them three still gonna get in.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know if you get you'll get two and then one, and that one will be the battle to me out of the NFC West and NFC South second place team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I got you on that one. So, all right, we got Seahawks Jets. That's at 1 o'clock also. You got Texans. Texans blew their chance to put the division away Sunday. How you lose to the Titans, bro? I mean,
you guys see the same thing? I'm seeing a step back with old boy, quarterback.
Yeah, he stepped back a whole lot.
Yeah, all right.
He stepped back a whole lot. I don't know because you got more
expectations are higher
that you didn't have last year.
Yeah.
So he was on the radar last year. Nobody expected him to do what he did. Now this year, expectations are different. A lot of people don't think so, but that's a big thing.
Yeah,
when people coming for you, you got to be able to do it, and that separates the goods from the greats, man.
Yeah, but you playing a Titans team that I mean, they kind of like the Panthers, bro. They far away.
Yeah, Will Levis.
Yeah, Will Levis. They far away, bro. But they play the Jags on Sunday. That we'll see how that goes. Cardinals play the Vikings.
Hey, that's the game I need to watch. See, those are the things that for me, that for what I was telling you about the situation. That's an interesting game for my team's position.
Well, the reason why I say that, I didn't think the Cardinals would go to Seattle and just fall apart like they did Sunday.
They sure did. Yeah.
Me either.
That was surprising. For them to just fall apart the way that they did, especially how good they have been playing, that says something. And then the interesting thing might be in that game, the Vikings defense versus Kyler, because the Vikings defense is formidable. We just have to see how that one goes. And then the last 1 o'clock game is Titans Commanders. It's a must win for the Commanders. You can't lose 4 in a row. You
No.
lose four in a row, you can kiss your playoff hopes goodbye at that point.
What they'll put their record at?
7-6.
7-6.
They'll be 7-6.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 7-5 now. They'll be 7-6.
Yeah, that ain't good, bro.
To watch out for my situation. Go ahead, don't take my bad.
All right, and then the 4:00 game is a big game in the South. Buccaneers, Panthers.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's an interesting game though. If
Mike
Evans back,
I ain't worried. If they play though like they do, which is down to the level of competition, we'll have a problem. Because if the Panthers play like they've been playing, it could be a squeak out. Yeah.
Rams got to travel to the Saints again because the Falcons are screwing up. You don't know what Ram team gonna show up though, man. The Rams have been Jekyll and Hyde the last month. One week they look like crap. The next week they blowing everybody out. You don't know what they're gonna be. Because Sunday night was terrible. But the week before, 2 weeks before when they played Miami, it was terrible. But then didn't they beat the 49ers the following week?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
See, you don't know what they're doing. You know, they up and down so bad. Good game for Sunday afternoon. You got Eagles, Ravens.
Which bird is gonna win?
Huh? What's that, Kel?
Which bird is gonna win?
I think the Eagles. Ravens won last night, but I'm gonna be honest. That defense still is a problem, bro. They still a problem. Offensively, they good, but they defense is a problem.
It kind of threw me last night. I was watching the game. I'm like, man, the Ravens are messing up. Next thing I know, the Ravens winning. I'm like, how?
If that game would have been played next year, the Chargers would win that game, and it's because it would and that's because Harbaugh won. But it showed they didn't win. It was last thing is because he's getting into the rhythm of it.
Yeah,
but that was one more year back. You probably would have had a loss the other way.
Yeah, because Justin Herbert playing outstanding football.
Yeah.
But one thing about it, he ain't got no help, bro.
He don't have no help.
Yeah, his receiver.
He's gonna get his running back.
Yeah,
and you know that.
Yeah,
and he's gonna get his offensive lineman because he's gonna draft the way you should. He don't do the other way. So that's why I said if this is next year, you might have seen something.
All right. And then Sunday night we got 49ers Bills in Buffalo. The Niners are dead. You know, I want to see one thing I want to see is what Debo gonna wear up there in the snow. He can't come out there with them booty shorts on because he gonna freeze out there in Buffalo. He's sassy. He's sassy. But this will be a big victory for the Bills, and it's building on them to get to where they need to get to. 49ers, if Purdy doesn't play, it's gonna get uglier than it would be even if Purdy did play. I think Buffalo wins this game by 2 touchdowns, easy.
Yeah.
So who the Chiefs play? They play the Raiders, right?
Chiefs play the Raiders. Yeah.
All right, Buffalo's like one game away from winning the division, getting the number 1 seed.
Buffalo clinched the division if they win the game Sunday, y'all. It's already it's the first Sunday in December, bro. That lets you know how bad the division is if you clinch in the first week of December. And then Sunday night we got the Browns versus the Broncos. I mean Monday night we got the Browns versus the Broncos. Jameis in prime time, baby.
Monday night, yeah.
Jameis in prime time.
I'm just so
high.
Oh, yeah.
This gonna be too good, man. It's gonna be too good. I see some stupidness coming out of this, man. Cause he gonna be up there. We so high up, I can't breathe, but I'm gonna do the best that I can.
That's gonna be a funny one.
That gonna be. Plus, you got to remember, Jameis was Sean Payton backup before he left. So this is gonna really be.
This gonna be personal. He's gonna pick him apart. Hey, I'm going Cleveland on this game.
When it turns personal, that's bad for Jameis.
Well, I'll say this here now.
Pick six happening.
I'm going Cleveland on this game. This is my
No,
upset alert right here.
because he won last week, so he is due for one of them 4 interception games, man.
Cleveland will not win another game.
He due for one, bro.
That was it.
Yeah,
He's gonna throw some interceptions. They're gonna win this game. You heard it there first.
But you know what though? Now, honestly, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do at the end of the season, because they really are. This is one of the times you can truly say they are a quarterback away from winning.
Who, Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland ain't drafting no. Yeah,
but I'm saying they are a quarterback away from winning.
Wait, who's free agents? They got any free agents? That's key to this run. And you know what I'm saying. Because if that's the case, they ain't re-signing them.
Oh, you know, ain't nobody re-signing and go back to Cleveland now. You already know that. But they got their big receivers and their running backs signed through next season.
Okay.
A couple of fellows on defense, I believe, are a free agent. But the defense is still stout. I'm not gonna say they're not. They still stout. But the problem with them is they lost some games early in the year that they shouldn't have. Honestly, I don't. We went about Deshaun. I don't know what has truly happened to him. I never would have thought he would have fell off like this. And then now you got Jameis. You don't know where that's going. They're now one of the things, and we can talk about this and call it a day. One of the things that we've seen is there is bad quarterback play the whole league. Even some established quarterbacks are playing bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's nothing you can put your finger on.
Troy said it, man. It's bad route running, first of all.
Well, I mean, if you don't work on your craft, you ain't never gonna be good. The ones that work on their craft, you can tell it because you know they the best receivers in the league.
I don't think that they are coaching quarterbacks right.
No. That's a
I think the NFL still is resisting the new quarterback. And until that fully flips, you're going to have some of these bad. They don't know what to do with a freakish ass athlete that can also throw. And I've even put Josh Allen in there too. They haven't fully adjusted yet. And until that happens, you're going to see these kind of numbers to me, because they just don't know what to do, because you got the quarterbacks who can do things. And then because now I started paying attention. Like some of the more athletic ones, they're thinking too much. Like, do I need to stay to impress the pundits who say I'm not quarterbacking? Or do I take off and try to win the game? And I just don't say, you don't have enough Mike Tomlins that say, win how you need to win. You know what I'm saying? I am perfectly fine winning 12-11. 13, and that is the thing. They don't know, and that is it. Like the Ravens and all of those teams, especially the AFC North teams, Ravens want to be this offensive juggernaut when they need to be Tomlin in them. Hey, we up there. We got to win 15-12. We these 32-42. And so that's my thing is, man, I don't think they got the right staffs in place to bring along this new age of quarterback.
Do you think they really want to win the games, or is they trying to collect a check? I mean, this is a different era, different game.
I think they need to move these coaches, and it started last year, the older coaches. I mean, love it to death, and it's time. I mean, shit, everybody has their time. Like, I work in an industry where, man, it is a young man's thing. After you turn 50 in tech, you just can't, because you can't sit there in front of a machine and code and do that kind of stuff at you past a certain. They just don't have that kind of intensity, that kind of focus, and tech is almost just like sports. You get in early and you get out early because it's changing so much. You just and so the game passes you by as as it go. Like these kids now who coding with JavaScript and stuff is already built for them. That is the thing that I don't know, and that's why I know it's time for me to move. And the same thing I think with these offensive defensive coordinators. You got to get them out, because now the game, and get them young who know what this is, and they've come up in that system. And that's what I think. It's just like that to me. You get to a spot in that when it flips, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, and that's on the owner and the GM.
We done went Kenny Rogers now, man. Got mighty much. Boy, I tell you.
Gambler, man.
Look at both. Y'all done been on something today. I don't know what. It got to be a holiday week because y'all done been on something today. We done got all kind of references.
Hey, man.
That's what makes it good, man.
It's just a blessing to do this podcast. I mean,
yes, it is.
I just thank you for allowing me to do this podcast, man. It's just great, man.
Well,
but yeah, that's saying something though, because things do change. Everything is cyclical because you're starting to see now it is that type of hybrid because the running back is starting to get a little bit more importance now, and you're right. These coaches, they can get the run game right, except for Dallas. But yeah, that passing, and then it's on the players a part of it too, because it's like, do I sacrifice my body for that run, or should I just stay and throw it away? 10 years ago, I would say, they're trying to win. They do what they need to do. Well, I mean, it was more pocket, and the quarterback was protected a little bit more. But like I said, when you got the Cams coming in, the Lamar, even the Josh Allen's coming in, you're running a little bit more. So you don't know how to referee that so much as far as, calling the game. And then unless you're Mahomes, somebody, you got to protect them at all costs, just like Peyton and Tom Brady. But then again, you've got, I want to see some high scores just because it's a passing league now. So it's just so many things going in so many different directions. You really don't know what to do.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the biggest thing I saw Sunday was, and it was refreshing to see because most teams play cover 2, but what I saw Sunday was the Panthers and the Chiefs. They played a lot of cover 3. They played a lot of cover 1. And they played, especially the Chiefs, they played with the safety about 12 yards deep, bro. And honestly, that should invite you to throw the ball deep. No, he's not doing it. You can do that on certain teams, or other teams. You can't do that with Josh Allen. You can't give a one-on-one like that with Josh Allen. But with Bryce Young, you can do that. And their whole goal was to stop the running game, which they really didn't do a lot of because Panthers actually could move the football on the ground. But this is the thing that's fundamental about football, though. It never gonna change. Yeah, you can throw the ball all around the yard all you want. But when it comes time, you better be able to run the football and play them the 2 fundamental factors that dominate football at any level. If you can't run and you can't play defense, you're not going to win. And the simpler, honestly, you only need your quarterback to throw the ball at minimum 25 times. Minimum 25 times. If they throw in 35, 40, 50, your game, you in bad shape, bro. This league,
you playing catch up.
Well, you playing catch up, or you ain't got the right game plan in order. You should be balanced, and I'll tell you a team that stay balanced. It don't look like it. Green Bay, they balanced. Green Bay, you look at their run pass, they within 2 of each one every game. He's not putting him in situations where Detroit's doing the same thing. Now, the only thing about it is Detroit
might be skewed the other way, more run than pass.
Well, but see, the thing about it, Detroit time of possession is low because of the fact they hitting big plays. Because if you don't hit Montgomery and you don't hit Montgomery, you in trouble. But if you don't hit Gibbs within the first 5 yards, you gonna tell him back because he gone.
And if you don't touch Omar St. Rob, like within that whole thing too, he gone.
But now, one thing I do notice about them, Amon-Ra moves. And you got some teams that don't like to move their wide receivers, which is dumb. But you supposed to be moving your wide receiver to get the best matchup you can get. Amon-Ra opens up so much stuff for Jameson Williams and for Laporta because you got to figure out, okay, where is he at? A lot of teams don't do that. That was one of the things that always made the old school 49ers so good because, okay, Jerry could play all 3 positions. John Taylor could play all 3 positions. You still had a dominant tight end. You still had dominant. They were still playing with a fullback. Man, you pull a fullback out there right now, boy, you scare somebody, boy. They don't know what to do with that. That's why I say teams that you can have the spread principles, but at some point, line up in the I formation, kill somebody, bro. Because they ain't gonna know what to do with it. Because they're gonna be like, what I'm supposed to do? Because they don't see it. But if you go either too tight end or you go I formation, or even if you went stupid enough to go split back. And let me tell you what Andy Reid brought out the other day on the goal line, tripped me out. I was like, oh man, look at him. T formation, bro. You ain't know who was gonna get the ball. Only thing I was waiting to see was they gonna do the merry-go-round, and now you gonna see that Friday because they're gonna do it on the Raiders because it's the Raiders.
They're gonna do a 3-man weave. I told you, man.
All around the Marbury bush.
Oh,
the monkey chased the weasel.
There it is.
Yep. All right, fellas. So to the families, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, man. From me to y'all, I'm greatly appreciative and thankful that y'all have made 44 Stack what it is. It has been necessary, I'll say like that. Just from a standpoint, we talking about the thing that we love more than anything, which is football. We'll probably slide basketball after the season over with. We won't talk about it as much because there's some foolishness going on in the NBA that we need to talk about too. Preferably my Philadelphia 76ers, because all of them need to be fired. Every last one of them. Starting with Joel.
They hadn't played a game yet together, had they?
No, because they heard all the
He's still out. He hadn't played. Well, he played about 3 games.
Yeah,
He
Max
played,
come back the other night.
Is
I'm gonna see what they're gonna do. Man, they stink, man. Joel Embiid is the biggest waste of 7 foot I ever seen in my life, bro. Biggest waste. You stay hurt all the time.
When he on the court, them 2 or 3 games a year, though, he tough.
2 or 3. I need you 82, bro.
So is he the new street clothes?
Yeah, he the new street clothes. If you start,
if you lounge wear,
huh?
Is he street clothes or lounge wear? Cause he not even in the arena half the time.
I mean, he's sitting up if he there, he up in the rafters looking at stuff, man. Him street clothes playing more games than he playing right now. I can't even say nothing to it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of him, Paul George. I'm sick of both of them. They can go, give me back. Somebody go find a young Allen Iverson from somewhere so I can get some kind of enjoyment out of watching the 76ers play.
Allen Iverson, Eric Snow.
Worst basketball team ever assembled, but they got to the finals and won a game. Hey, I don't care what nobody says.
That's because of Bubba Chuck. That's why.
I know. Everybody love to say that Cleveland squad LeBron took and didn't have nobody. I'm like, LeBron had a better team than Iverson had. He had Ilgauskas.
He really did.
Yeah, Ilgauskas. The 3 teams I remember is that team, that Philly team, that LeBron team, and that Dallas team that Dirk had. Outside of Dirk, I mean, I know what's his name is the Hall of Fame, but he's at the end of his career.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Yeah, Jason Kidd was towards the end of his career. That was the last 2 years he pretty much played basketball.
Yeah. Bro, that is why.
Yeah, Jason Terry.
Jason Terry, Dirk, Sean Marion.
Yeah. Josh Howard wasn't on that team then, was he?
Who?
Ozzie Muhammad was.
Josh Howard.
Ozzie Muhammad was on there.
Hey, because that was a
JJ Barea.
JJ Barea was on that team.
Who?
JJ Barea.
JJ Barea.
Yeah, JJ
and they couldn't stop him.
But yeah, and so man, them 3 teams are the 3 teams that stand out to me that had nothing. Other 2, and Dirk went in the finals, but yeah, them some teams.
But that's why for all the people that love to say LeBron the greatest, that stain losing to Dallas will forever. Because you had 2 Hall of Famers with you, and you couldn't beat Dirk.
But that was LeBron's fault. He disappeared in the that final.
Bruh. Again, you can't put him number 1 and you lose to Dirk.
I've seen some heartbreaks. I remember when my Lakers lost to Robert Reed's Jerry Curl and Ralph Sampson and them to do nothing else but go get fucking swept by the damn Celtics. I also remember my Lakers getting swept by your team. That was another heartbreaker for me when y'all swept.
Well, now
Malone said four.
But you got to remember now, that was one of the great teams in the NBA because that team was loaded.
Yeah, well, I've been through some heartbreak.
Yeah, that team was loaded. Now, I will agree with you with the 86 Lakers because
if I would have saw Robert Reed.
Who else was on that team?
Oh, they had Akeem and Ralph Sampson. And Ralph
Sampson but it was some who was playing guard for them.
Shit, I see, because he had a Jerry curl too.
Yeah, I think the whole team had a curl, man.
Exactly. Damn, I see him, man. I don't want to see him.
He was a good little guard. Yeah, he was a good guard.
Murphy,
Calvin Murphy.
Calvin Murphy. Yeah.
That's it. Calvin Murphy. Man, yeah, the Lakers really should have been 3 in a row back then. But I don't know how they lost. Because you remember the Lakers didn't lose until they got to the Western Conference Finals that year. Because they had ran through Denver and San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know, that was pre the Admiral David Robinson. The Admiral. All right, fellas. Y'all enjoy. Tell the fam, happy Thanksgiving. Tell them appreciate letting y'all come out and play with me. And we'll see y'all.
No doubt.
We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, we'll have something good to talk about. I'm hoping Jameis go off next Monday night.
Oh, he is. Jameis is here to stay, man.
He ain't playing the Steelers, so I hope he go off next Monday night. I want to see a line of about 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That just suit me just fine, man. And run for about 25, 30 yards. Man.
He is the left, which never wished he became. That's what Jameis Winston is. He's by left worst damn nightmare. All
right, on that note, I got to give that one up. I can't say no more after that. We'll see y'all next week. I can't do no more after that one, man.
All right, everybody.